Morning. I just wanted to run quickly through the exam times for paper 1 and paper 2. Now, I'm on my phone, so again, apologies if the quality is a little bit funny. So for paper 1, you have a total of 2 hours and 50 minutes, and the exam is worth a total of 200 marks. Now, that time is made up of your comprehension, question A. Now, the question A is the part 1, 2, and 3, worth 15, 15, and 20 marks. You have your 3 questions. You should allow 40 minutes in order to get that done. Many people have been asking me how long or how much you should write. The unspoken rule is that for a 15-mark question, you should have 3 paragraphs, 5 marks per paragraph. So you're looking at about 3/4 of a page. So part 1, 2, and 3, 40 minutes in total. On a separate comprehension, you're going to answer the question B, which is your article, your letter, your diary entry, your interview. And again, you should leave 40 minutes for that. And it's worth 50 marks. So you're looking at about 2.5 pages for that. The section 2 is the composition, and that's where your speech, your short story, your personal essay, your descriptive essay, all that preparatory work that you've done, that will be assessed in there. And it's worth 100 marks, so I would certainly be expecting 4.5 to 5 pages for that particular piece, and it's worth 1 hour and 10 minutes. So 40, 40, and 1 hour and 10, and I would be leaving between 15 to 20 minutes to read your paper initially and to proofread your work. Please do not think that proofreading your work is 15 minutes extra in case you run over. It is not. That 15 to 20 minutes is to be allotted for the sole purpose of reading your paper and proofreading your work in order to spot anything which may have been put in there or omitted or incorrectly spelled or sentences that don't flow correctly. All of those can work together to severely impact the marks given to you. So do bear that in mind. You'll be fine for time in paper 1. You will have enough time. Paper 2 is also worth 200 marks, the same amount of marks awarded for each paper. You have 3 hours and 20 minutes in order to get this done. You need a watch for this. If you don't own a watch, you borrow a watch. You take it off when you go into the exam, you put it beside you, and when you write, you watch the time. You don't look up and up and up because it can cost you enormously valuable marks through distraction and through your time management as well. So have the watch beside you on the desk. The first question you're going to approach will be the single text, which is probably your Macbeth question. Some will say you have 55 minutes for this. I feel you need the 60 minutes in order to get this done. When those 60 minutes are up, regardless of whether you are finished or not, you turn that page and you start the next question. If you don't do that, you start to eat into the time allotted for the next question and your whole exam is gone in terms of time management. So please leave the question. The comparative studies will be your second question. Now, it's worth 70 marks. You have 65 minutes in order to get this done. If you're going to do your general vision and viewpoint or your theme or issue or literary genre, please remember that you have very specific headings in order to answer these on. So look back at a previous blog post where I did discuss those headings and how to use them. If you don't finish within the 65 minutes, as before, you turn that page, and if you have time, you can go back to them. But the worst thing you could do would be to try and push yourself to finish a particular question to the peril of another question. Your unseen poetry is the third item on the paper. Now, it's only 15 minutes for this question is all that you're allowed. It's worth 20 marks. It's very achievable to get a large percentage of those marks, but you must be aware of your poetic techniques going in. So what I would recommend is go through the papers between now and then, have a good look at all of the previous unseen poetries that have come up. They're all quite tricky. None of them are enormously interesting. They're not like your studied poetry, but they are jam-packed with poetic techniques. So if you know those, you'll be fine. Moving on then to the final part, which is your studied poetry. Your studied poetry, you have 50 minutes in order to complete this. If you finish any of these before the allotted time, you can use that to go back then and complete the conclusion or something of another question that you didn't finish. But if there are questions you didn't finish, it's okay, I promise. What would be worse would be trying to finish a Macbeth question, finish your comparative studies, and then realising you don't have enough time to do the unseen poetry, which is worth 20 marks, and you can't afford to lose that many marks. You're only left with between 10 and 15 minutes proofreading if you have stuck to your time up to now. So use that time very, very well to double check your quotes, to double check your paragraphs, to make sure that your information is accurate more than anything else. On the morning of the exam, I have instructed all of my students, go outside very early. Get up with the birds, go outside, run, jog, swim, cycle, anything that burns energy, that raises that heart rate, good old-fashioned cardio exercise. I want you to go out and burn off your unused energy. If you don't use that, it will convert to stress and anxiety in your body, and you will go into that exam. And even if you think you're not stressed, you will feel a little bit panicky. And you will find that you might draw a blank when it comes to quotes that you have definitely known up to that point. So there are ways that you can be clever about approaching your exam, and going in with a good, fresh, calm, clean mind is definitely the way to go. Don't forget your breakfast that morning. For anybody going in to start their exams either today or Monday, I wish you all the luck in the world. You'll be fine. You haven't completed your course, so don't be too hard on yourself. The exams are a preparation for your time management, your anxiety levels, your ability to perform in an exam environment when they're so close back to back. It's not a reflection of the grade that you are likely to get in June. So please, if you achieve a little bit less than what you had hoped to, don't be too hard on yourself because you haven't finished your course. If anybody needs me for anything at all, you can contact me on my Facebook page, Tramore Tuition, as usual, or you can pop a comment under here and I will, of course, come back to you. Thank you very much.